developing right now. Troops from North Korea are in Russia. 3,000 troops are now reported to be in the country, with a purported 10,000 promised to be deployed by December. The U.S. says North Korea is already supplying munitions to Russia, and Russian President Vladimir Putin and North Korean leader Kim Jong-un signed a pact in June that includes pledging mutual defense. So let's bring in NewsNation's Joe Khalil, who is following these developments live in D.C. And Joe, it would appear they are there to help Russia in its war with Ukraine. So how are U.S. officials reacting?
Yeah, that's exactly right. And this isn't the first time that North Korea is helping Russia, but it is the first time that we're actually seeing troops being sent into Russia. Not only did Secretary of Defense Lloyd Austin confirm this morning that that is, in fact, happening, that North Korean troops are now in Russia, but he also says this move is going to be, in his words, a dangerous escalation that are going to have effects both in Europe and in Asia. Now, we still don't know, Nichole, how many North Korean soldiers are in Russia right now. We know from South Korean intelligence, they estimate it's going to be anywhere from 2,500 to 3,000. And we also don't know exactly what their role is going to be. Nonetheless, obviously, this is an escalation, and it is concerning. We talked to Congressman John Garamendi this morning. He's on the Armed Services Committee, echoing some of the same concerns that Secretary of Defense Austin has. And he says it's also a larger concern, not just the troops that North Korea is providing. Take a listen.
It certainly helps Russia. Depends upon how many troops there are and what there are. Probably more important than the troops are the munitions that North Korea has made available. Iran, North Korea, probably China also. So Putin's trying to get help wherever he can. The fact of the matter is we need to continue to support Ukraine.
So Nichole, Garamendi says this should be a real impetus, a real motivation for Congress to continue supporting Ukraine with weapons and with aid, not to backtrack or go in the other direction. That, however, very unlikely. We don't think Speaker of the House Mike Johnson would put new Ukraine funding up for a vote between now and the end of the year. We have reached out to his office and have asked that question, but it appears really unlikely.
Appears unlikely. Joe, what do we expect from the White House in terms of a response?
You know, it's interesting. We're waiting to hear from the White House. Earlier in the week, the chairman of the House Intelligence Committee, Congressman Mike Turner from Ohio, called on the Biden administration. He actually wrote a letter saying that if North Korea does this, if they send troops into Russia, that should be a red line for the United States, and we should make clear to Russia that there are going to be consequences for that. Later on, in about an hour from now, Nichole, there is going to be a White House press briefing, so we're waiting to hear what Press Secretary Karine Jean-Pierre, potentially someone else who may be joining her, has to say about this situation.
Yeah, because no doubt she will get some questions on this. All right, Joe Khalil, live for us there in D.C. Thank you. Thanks for watching. Go to joinnn.com to find News Nation on your screen. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of News Nation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.